thank you very much for coming along in this. Can you hear me okay? Yeah? Right. Okay. So in this section we're going to talk about how Rakuten became an official training partner and trained over 200 employees within Chef. So just by way of introduction, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is John Fitzpatrick. I'm a training program manager here at Chef. I'm also a Chef instructor. I live in Belfast in the UK. My contact details are here. I've been working with Chef, the company, for coming up on 5 years. I'm working with Chef, the software, for just over 8 years. I'm also involved in the community, on the DevOps Belfast meetup group. I'm involved in the panel for DevOps Days Galway and on the Chef Users London. Want to introduce Rex?
Good afternoon, my name is Rex and I'm working at Rakuten as a technical account manager. And we manage our own, we build our own self-service infrastructure which provides compute, networking, load balancers, storage, and others. And we support our customers. And I'm currently working in Rakuten for 6 years and working 4.5 years using Chef. And here's Takaaki.
Hi, my name is Takaaki. I'm working in Rakuten as a technical account manager. I work in the same team with Rex, and the GitHub account and Twitter account is TKAK, and I live in Tokyo.
Okay, thank you, Rex and Takaaki. So we're going to split this talk up. I'm going to talk for a little while on the structure and the content of the train-the-trainer program, and then Rex and Takaaki will explain how they rolled it out within Rakuten. So first of all, what is the train-the-trainer program? So the aim of the train-the-trainer program is to prepare a group of trainers within a company to roll or to deliver chef training within that organization. So it allows them to then roll out. So as I was saying, it prepares a group of trainers within a company to deliver chef training classes within their organization. So we start primarily with the Chef Essentials training, but it can cover really any training class that we offer. It makes the company self-sufficient in delivering chef, and then they get the full support of chef. And it involves a number of days on site, and I'll talk a little bit about how we do that. So who benefits? The primary benefits for the train-the-trainer program is the company, obviously. So if you can think of chef, and a lot of chefs' training costs are comparable to those in the industry, and it's upwards on tens of maybe $10,000, $15,000 for a 2 or 3 day training class for up to maybe 15 people. So that's kind of tolerable, but once you start teaching a lot more people, then costs can start getting very big very quickly. So with a one-off train-the-trainer engagement, then that company becomes self-sufficient in training, and they can deliver the training on their own schedule in their own organization. They can split the training up over whatever days they would like to do it, and they can basically run their own schedule. With that, they still get the full support of Chef. So we will still maintain the materials, give them updates, bring as new trainers come on board. We will help the new trainers to get up to speed, and we will maintain the content and make the content available to them. So they still get our full support. So how do we do this? There are a number of steps involved in the train-the-trainer program. So there's five steps. The first step is before we come on site, we would ask for a bit of self-study. So whenever we're going through the train-the-trainer program, we are not training those people on chef as such. We expect them to know the subject matter and be technical on the actual subject matter itself. What we will do is we'll help them to deliver the training classes on that subject. So we would have asked them they should have a good, reasonable background within chef, and they should preferably have already sat the training class that they're going to be doing the trainer on. But at the very least, we will have given them the materials, and they will have read through all the materials, and completed all the labs. So then, that would happen before we would arrive on site. So then, we would come on site. On day 1 and day 2, if in the on-site engagement, I would deliver the training class myself with the nominated instructors in the class. So we might have up to 10 or 15 people, a full class preferably. And the instructors to be taught would be in there as training assistants. So they would be learning the flow of the class, learning the little anecdotes that might be said, or the helping the students with the lab exercises, and just making notes on the delivery of the class. Not as such on the technology, but that might help as well, but primarily on the delivery of the class. So then, on day 3, we would meet in a room, and we would go through a number of things. We would go through each module, the whole class module by module. Okay, we'll go through each class module by module, and then we would make sure they know how to access the training materials and all the images that are required for the lab exercises. We will show them how to set up the labs and how to set up the classroom environment, how to set up maybe machine images from AMI need to be spun up for the labs. The students' laptops may need to be pre-prepared. So we go through all of that. And we maybe go through some general training tips and tricks. I'll come back to that in a second. So we sit down a full solid day on making sure they're comfortable teaching the class and how to set the class up. And then on the days 4 and 5, they would deliver the training, and I would sit as a TA in the class and monitor them and help them answer any questions and help students with the labs and make sure they're comfortable in their first delivery of the class. So these days are all on site, so it's basically a full 5 days on site. And then after the on site, there's ongoing follow-up and support where we will keep in touch. We will, if they, once the students have a training class, they can send us the lists of people in the training class, and we will log them in our system and issue them with certificates of completion. We will issue the instructors with new updates to the slides as they become available, and just basically support them any questions that they have, just to make them successful in training within their organization. One other thing that we may cover, and this I've marked this as optional, because sometimes if you're doing trainer with individuals who have never delivered a training class before, we would also give them good practice guidelines on how to deliver a training. If they're career trainers, then we don't necessarily have to do this. But if they're new to training, then we would explain how these values are important. We'd explain the concepts of training, about the idea of tell them what you're going to tell them, and then tell them what you told them, about how to maintain credibility within class, how to set expectations with the students, how to not leave anybody behind, how to be tactful if somebody is hogging a lot of time, and just the general concepts of timing and maintaining a good class. So that is the structure of our training program. Very brief. If you want any more details on that, please come and see me. I can talk through this in a lot more detail. But for now, what I would like to do is hand it over to Rex, and Rex is going to talk through a little bit more about what happened within Rakuten.
Thank you so much, John. I can say he was a very strict trainer or teacher. And before we go through the details of our presentation, I would like to introduce you about our company, Rakuten. So here's the Japanese kanji. Rakuten in English means optimism. So it was established 1997 in Tokyo, Japan. Anyone here who haven't heard about Rakuten? Okay. Oh, thank you. So right now we have 70 businesses that spans e-commerce, digital contents, communications, finance, and everything you can think of. So we are a global company. We have offices in Asia, in Europe, in North America, in Australia. We have an office in Australia. And if you heard about Ebates, Viber, or Kobo, or Slice, you have been using our products. And in Japan, we have more than, like, I don't know, 100 services already with 1.2 billion members. And we're not just your average traditional company. We are diverse, dynamic, and we have an open corporate culture. So these numbers are not flattering, especially here in North America, but in Japan, this is quite high. So out of 14,000 employees, we have 70 plus nationalities, and we have 21% women in management, and what's this? 135 taking child care leave. So we love to work. That's what it means here. And we support LGBT people. And so that's our company. And we always have new businesses every time we release new services. And with that, we acquired lots of users. So thinking about that, we wanted to scale quickly. So we started using Chef from 2012. So we use the open source Chef. And I think we started from Chef 10, and then 11, and then 12. And we customize it heavily, and we call it our Chef. So we hack it, and we built it, and it has its own heartbeat, log management, permissions, and authentication. But the thing is that only ops or sysadmins have access to that. And the developers, they need to go through hell and like raise tickets to get their configuration management be executed. So doing that causes friction between dev and ops. And those don't want to change, still using the old legacy, just request-based tickets. If they want to change some like chmod or like create directory, it takes 5 days. So, but more and more developers or applications engineers are thinking about, DevOps, and they wanted to accelerate. So we started thinking about getting the enterprise license. So the enterprise agreement because of the customer success engineering. So we started getting it from 2016, and we got Chef Delivery, which is now Chef Automate. And our main goal is to increase Chef usage and increase velocity. And since we're managing the Chef server and our cookbooks, so we wanted to train our developers. The only thing is, we're not a teacher, we're bad teachers. So, enter Chef train the trainers. So we asked John to come over all the way from Belfast to Tokyo to train us for an extensive 5-day training. And like what he said, we go all through the 5 steps. And after that, we became Chef Authorized Training Partner. Any clap here? Thank you. So, like I said, we have our own customized infrastructure. So, to have or to host our own chef trainings. So, we provided our own infrastructure with, this is our data center, with our own hybrid infrastructure, with our own corporate proxy and firewall. We teach them included with the standard chef essentials. So we also visited, this is the Japan map, not an onsen map, but we travel across our regional offices to not only to give them chef essentials training, but to also connect with them personally. And we're also tracking our KPIs. So we made our KPIs to track. We give them survey and we get their feedbacks and analyze. And with the help of our training, this is one of our training in the northern part of Japan. And in total, we have delivered 10 chef essentials training with over 200 receiving completion certificates. So for details, Takaaki will explain our KPIs. Here you go.
Thank you, Rex. As you can see, our NPS is very high, especially for Chef Essential with 80% being the highest. We also compare it with other trainings like Docker, Spring Framework, Azure, Splunk, etc. And chef training is one of the highest. Here, most of our participants are more than willing to recommend it to their peers. Chef training is one of the most recommended trainings in our company. As most of our participants are developers, so most have very few experience managing a system and first time using Chef. So we also track their knowledge increase. As you can see, the knowledge increase after the trainings are consistent. Here, we ask the participants how likely they will use skills they gained from chef trainings. And most of them would like to use right away. We also started tracking what benefits will chef trainings can do to them. Most of our participants take the trainings to greatly improve their work. Some want to increase their skills and develop their career. And quite a few just to satisfy their personal desires. In this KPI, you can see we have mostly meet their expectations. Before the start of the trainings, we have cleared each other's expectation on both sides. What to expect as a participant and what to give them as a trainer. And also we got some comments and feedbacks. The hands-on really gave us a good idea on what chef can do. It was super fun too. As for attribute, I often use it in business, so I was glad to hear the explanation. What is yak shaving? Next, I will introduce a success story of Hokkaido team. All of the members were software developers before, and they got Chef Essentials and Chef Intermediate trainings. As a result, they can improve their workflow for server provisioning. In the old workflow, before to change a configuration in a system, They will write the Jira ticket. They dedicated system admin will do operation for them. Sometimes it gets more complicated since the sysadmin are only operators and don't have provisioning powers. So sysadmin requests a new ticket and give it to provisioning engineers to spin up a server. This is very slow, around 1 week. Then sysadmin will check the server and add some additional configuration such as file permissions, etc. This is slow, around 2 days. If there are some issues, it will take more days to configure the server. This is slow. Average is 2 to 3 weeks in total. Then finally, give it to the developer to deploy their apps into. Right now, we give devs access to provisioning their servers with full root access. And they can create servers anytime and provisioning them using cookbooks faster in an automated way. This is very fast. And we also have opened our base cookbooks to everyone to contribute, both ops and devs. And we are collaborating cookbook development with cross-department and cross-community. Finally, they succeed the following things. They can reduce lead time for preparing servers for load test, 2 to 3 weeks to 10 minutes. And they can automate setup development environment by using our cookbooks. And they can share best practices in their team and chef community. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much.